Token D Rock here with another stream. Total crypto market cap right now is sitting at $921 billion. Bitcoin dominance now at 38.9%. Again, a little bit concerning that it is below 39%. ETH dominance at 17.2%. Bitcoin facing some more turbulence, facing some more volatility here on the 24-hour. Bitcoin at $18,781. ETH just barely above $1,300. BNB at 271, 272. Cardano at 45 cents. Solana at 31.63. Can see that the Bitcoin bulls are being overtaken by the Bitcoin bears. Bears have driven price action down to this line of support just around 18,500. The bulls have brought the price action above the line of support around 18,670, and we're going to see if the bulls can put in some higher highs or higher lows, so to speak. Otherwise, we face the risk of moving to the downside by a considerable manner. Again, guys, we are holding on to this line of support right around 18,670. What's it called? Sorry, Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin's holding that line of support. If we break down below that, we're looking at $18,000 Bitcoin potentially, and then from there, even lower. So things not looking too great. I think we are eventually going to dump here in the next week or two, but that's just my opinion. Not a financial advisor, not financial advice. So um, invest at your own risk. Here we have Heidi from Blockchain Chick saying in 2011, gold price reached high of 1900. Gold now stands at almost 1680. In 2011, Bitcoin reached a high of $29.60. Now it stands at 19,200. You tell me which one is a better hedge against inflation. Seems like a no-brainer. Bitcoin's a better hedge against inflation. Here we have El Salvador's repurchased 165 million of its debt for saving of $275 million. Amazing from land of Bitcoin and beauty. Coinbase received regulatory approval to operate in the Netherlands. Pretty bullish. Estonia has awarded first cryptocurrency license under new regulations. Middle Eastern Payments Gateway enables 5,000 merchants to accept Bitcoin in Bahrain. Again, adoption is just going through the roof, even during a bear market that we're experiencing right now. Over on Fox News, talked about Bitcoin. They said it's the first form of money. It's truly decoupled from the state. It is decentralized. World's biggest maker of Bitcoin miners, Bitmain, has slashed prices on its Antminer machine. So more people will own miners as a result. Canada's biggest commercial bank says Canada's economic engine may soon face energy shortages. Time to start mining. While the economic engine, while the banks may face energy shortages, the miners certainly won't. Banks have closed till further notice in Lebanon. Bitcoin never closes. France's third largest bank, Societe Generale, launches crypto fund services for asset managers. More adoption. Ripple signs the climate pledge, commitment to reach net zero carbon emissions by 2040. I'm not a big Ripple fan. Never really liked it. I think I had some once upon a time, but have not repurchased any. JP Morgan CEO Diamond tells members of Congress that cryptocurrencies are Ponzi schemes. And you have a representative from the Democratic Party over in Congress talking to banks and the CEOs of banks telling them, "Will you promise me right now to fund any more future oil and gas projects?" JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon says absolutely not, and that would be the great road to hell for America. Fed Chair Jerome Powell cites FOMC split between 100 basis points or 125 basis points for the rest of the year. This is kind of significant because we did discuss in, uh, I think, yesterday's video or day before that, how some people are speculating if the Fed does a whole 200 basis points between now and the end of the year, the stock market could see something like a 20 to 30% sell off, which would be pretty massive, pretty significant. And that was the 200 basis points statement was said before they just did the 75 basis points. So we have two more meetings between now and the end of the year. I believe it's November 1st or 2nd, just before the midterms elections. And then I believe they meet also on December 15th. So not a bad idea to stow away some cash until then. Obviously, dollar cost average here and there where you can when you see fit. But are they going to do 50 basis points November, 50 basis points in December? Are they going to do 50 basis points in November, 75 basis points in December because maybe they don't want to nuke the markets just right before the elections? I don't know. Will they do the reverse? Maybe they do 75 basis points in November and then 50 in December. Time will tell. But they're projecting inflation to be 5.4% by the end of 2022, inflation at 2.8% end of 2023, 2024 it to end with 2.3%, 2025 at 2%. I don't think this is going to happen personally. I think you can add at least 1.5% to each of these at the very least because the government likes to underreport, likes to act like everything's fine when it's not. Just a reminder that U.S. interest rates are now at their highest level since 2008. And if you know anything about 2008, pretty big recession started that year. Powell says in the housing market, we need to go through correction, which I think we're going to see here in the next 6 to 12 months, if not in the next 12 to 24 months. Ray Dalio says the United States is showing the hallmark signs of recession, says it will get worse in 2023 and 2024. The UK is in a recession as Bank of England projects third consecutive quarter of negative growth. Not good for the Brits over across the pond. Biden says China is conducting an unprecedented nuclear buildup with no transparency. He's lecturing the world about sovereignty at the UN today. Meanwhile, U.S. troops are legally occupying 1/3 of Syria, stealing its oil and starving its people. Not a great look, Mr. President. Again, lead by example. And then while he's doing this, we have the House of Representatives invoking January 6th to pass bill modifying electoral college certification process. Kind of interesting. And, it's kind of interesting because we have an FBI whistleblower claiming that the people part of the January 6th commission have convinced the FBI more or less that the hype is totally real surrounding January 6th and not looking good. Meanwhile, we have this 18-year-old gentleman supposedly was ran over by a 41-year-old Shannon Brandt because he said the teen was a extremist just weeks after Biden labeled Trump supporters extremists. And what's kind of disturbing is the person that killed this young man was released from jail on bond and is walking free. What is going on here? Good question. And Biden's Justice Department now investigating Mike Lindell. They want to put him behind bars, going after political descendants, people who don't support the current administration. It's kind of disgusting if you ask me, but here's just some fine examples of some hypocritical footage
If
of,
Nancy Pelosi feels comfortable using her
U.S.
salon, why can't civilians use
politicians
If she's in there comfortably,
expecting you to
without a
stay
mask and
home,
feeling safe,
locked
then
up,
why are we
not
shut
getting
down?
any sunshine, not working, etc. Meanwhile, they get to go
British
do
Health
things
Minister
without
Matt Hancock
masks and
quit on
such.
Saturday after he was caught breaking COVID-19 rules by kissing and embracing an aide in his office.
To see parliamentarians in their workplace not socially isolating and not even showing each other the respect of wearing masks. Put your masks on. Was deeply upsetting.
Sky News has been sent a video of you at a local event dancing and in close quarters with others.
No, you had that video.
We've obtained this photo of Governor Gavin Newsom dining at the luxurious French Laundry restaurant in Napa.
It was a very large group of
Again, total hypocrites. You gotta follow the rules, but they don't have to. Our mRNA vaccine myocarditis, once falsely dismissed as fictitious by the CDC director Rochelle Walensky, results in almost 1/3 of patients suffering persistent physical activity restriction at last follow-up. So 125 out of 393, not good, not mild, not a good look, that's for sure. Here we have Pfizer and Moderna have admitted in federal filings that their mRNA vaccines or injections are gene therapy. It's definitely not a vaccine, and many side effects are possible. Why isn't the media covering this? Who knows? Norway is threatening to shut down a wind power plant because the wind turbines cannot handle the strong winds and parts are flying off. Green energy, not so great. Not so green. Oceanic crowd today in Brussels protest against increasing gas and energy bills and EU policy. The high price crisis we are experiencing is caused by sanctions on Russia and the excess profits of multinationals, not wages. Demonstrations censored by the EU media. U.S. media refuses to cover the protests that are happening over in Europe as well. Here we have farmers, truckers, workers, and families in Germany against Olaf Scholz's policy, Russia's sanctions, and an explosion of energy and gas prices. This happens every day in many German and European cities, but the EU media censors it. Why is that? I have it from a Moderna employee who attended. The company announced in an employee seminar last week that they're developing an mRNA mega vaccine that combines a flu shot, COVID shot, and monkeypox shot, a package deal software update for biological operating system. I hope this guy is completely wrong. He's probably onto something here. He probably is talking to somebody who is in the know, but I hope he's wrong because that's pretty effed up. According to Reuters fact checkers, a Ukrainian tank was displaying an ancient Hindu symbol of wisdom, not a Nazi swastika, as Russian disinformation channels claimed. Well, the footage, I don't know. It looks pretty much like a swastika, so I don't know where they're getting the Hindu symbol. I know there was a Hindu symbol, but can tell you that's probably what they're not referencing. They're probably referring to the swastika. Here we have police forced to flee to Iran, um, chased by an angry crowd. Things are heating up worldwide as more and more people are getting fed up with the government and are deciding to take action. Here we have big tech is now working with the EU to develop a digital euro. Amazon is one of the companies involved in working on a prototype. This is scary stuff. Read about it in my article. not good. Digital dollars, CBDCs are
thinking that
are
this kind of
definitely
authoritarian
coming.
control over your money is not going to be anything
Leave
that
you
we'll
guys
see
with
in the
this
future.
clip. Hopefully you guys
Unfortunately, this
enjoyed
is
the
already
video.
implemented in the
Please like and subscribe and notification bell to be notified when we go live next. See you guys Monday, 10:30. I might start streaming at different times of the day, to be honest, to test the connection, because sometimes when I stream between 10:30 and 10:45, I have technical issues. So might be changing it up. But yeah, see you guys next week. Take care and invest wisely. I'll leave you with the clip.
The world. In China, the government is already able to program what its citizens can and cannot spend their money on. Over the last few years, they've limited millions of people's ability to buy things like train tickets, passports, and luxury goods. They're able to do this because of China's intense social credit system that links each person's identity and actions to their bank account, allowing the government to see and to control everything a citizen does with their money. And it seems like the West is paying attention. Nations like Sweden, South Africa, and Canada trials of programmable central bank currencies are already underway. In fact, almost half of the world's nations are at some stage of implementing this kind of programmable money, meaning no matter where in the world you live, this technology is likely only a few years away. Okay, so how does programmable money tie in with the personal carbon limit? Well, it all comes down to whether or not you've gone over your monthly usage. And if you have, there are two possible case scenarios for that. The most openly talked about penalty for a person going over their individual carbon limit is that they'd simply get charged for doing so, just the same as what happens to large companies today. Taken too many car trips this month, or bought a little bit too much meat. In that case, you'd simply get a bill at the end of each month from your government so you can pay the price of being a naughty citizen. As your entire carbon usage would be tracked by a government CBDC, there would be no way to hide how much carbon you've used. And since they now also hold the keys to your money, they won't even need to send you a bill for your excess usage. Potentially, they'll just automatically pull your fine from your bank account.